All right, guys. The New York Knicks just avoided an absolute disaster and nearly blew, I believe it was a 19-point lead to the Philadelphia 76ers. No Cat. I know he got banged up against the Celtics, but I honestly thought he'd play, but he was out. And then Ariel Hukporti got the start. He ended up getting injured. Now, Paul George had one of the best games, probably the best game of the season for him. Tyrese Maxey 0 of 10 from three. Kind of got going in the second half, but really what this game came down to was just Precious Achiuwa stepping up, playing some good defense, and then Jalen Brunson down the stretch had a 7-0 run personally. Knocked down a ton of free throws too. Brunson 15 of 16, only missed one. Just doing whatever it takes, of course, to will this team to a win. 34 points, 7 assists, 3 boards. Good game by Brunson. Josh Hart with 17 rebounds, which is just crazy. OG Anunoby 5 of 15, 9 boards, though. Good job of attacking the basket. Tibbs also drew up a really good play at the end, just putting everyone beyond the free throw line. And then OG just had one-on-one, ended up beating his man to the basket for the dunk. I think the biggest story of this game, though, despite everything I said, saving the best for last, I guess, you got to give credit to Brunson and Achiuwa, but it was definitely Bridges. I mean, he made, I think, his first 5 shots. He had finished with 28 points, 3 of 5 from 3, 12 of 18 from the field. The Knicks have been under a lot of just overall, I'd say, scrutiny in the sense of they gave up 5 first-round picks for Bridges, and everyone likes to make the comparison of, oh, well, Luka only went for 1 pick. Well, that's because they got Anthony Davis, and the Mavs just made a terrible trade to begin with. So the Knicks, they've got to get more out of Mikal. Do I have my phone on me? I don't have my phone on me. I had a crazy stat that I wanted to share with you guys, but it was just going over how bad Mikal's been of late. I mean, he's literally been like a minus player. Like whenever he's been on the court lately for the Knicks, they're losing points. So just to have a guy that you gave up so much for, who of course had a career year last year, struggle so much is definitely disappointing. But he stepped up in this one. And overall, I mean, how bad he was, not only offensively, but just rebounding and defense. So, again, just for him to get going, hopefully that can continue. I mean, he was averaging like 24, 25 a game last season. I know he was the number 1 option, and now he's really the number 3. But he's a guy that the Knicks are going to have to rely on if they want to have any chance to be able to compete in the East. Porty in those 16 minutes had 2 boards, a block, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls. Very similar to what he's done all year. Whenever he checks in and plays, is just a lot of fouls, but also a lot of positives. I mean, he's the last pick in the draft. So, but it should win those 31 minutes, 4 block shots, not to mention all the shots he altered at the basket. Fantastic. I mean, Philly, I thought they were way better than us in the second half, but Precious's interior defense definitely was huge. It was a huge reason why the Knicks won this game. And the bench just, I mean, it gave a little bit, I guess. I mean, the bench doesn't play, as we know. They really just don't get a lot of minutes. But McBride had 6 points, Payne had 4, and then Achiuwa had 7 points to go with those 4 blocks. He also had 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Shamet played in 6 minutes and missed both of his threes. Without Cat, I mean, this team is at a huge disadvantage. They're already lacking depth as it is. So now all of a sudden you take away who I believe has been the best player all season, not to discredit Brunson. Cat's been an MVP type of player this year. I think he's 5th in the voting right now. So you take away him, I mean, you're going to have to sort of find offense, because the Knicks have not been winning games because of their defense. Their defense is honestly below average. They've been winning it with their offense, which is second. So you take away Cat, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to get buckets. But Bridges stepped up. Brunson got it done in the clutch. I thought Tibbs brought back Brunson a little bit too late into this game. I know normally he likes to bring him in. The 7-minute mark is where you want to look at for your superstar, 7-6 minutes. I thought Tibbs should have brought him in a little bit earlier just because Philly was on a run, and it looked like they were going to completely just take over this game and run away with it. I mean, Maxey was on fire. Paul George hit some shots. Who else gave the Knicks some trouble tonight was Justin Edwards, was 2 of 4 from 3. He only hit 2 threes, but just timely buckets that sort of was pushing Philly's momentum. But, I mean, the Knicks escaped with a win here. Maxey was 12 of 32, 0 of 10 from 3. I mean, really, Oubre in the first half kept the Sixers afloat. If it wasn't for Oubre, the Knicks would have blown Philly out of the water like very early in this game. But Oubre was just producing. He finished with 27. I wouldn't be surprised if 22, 23 of those came in the first half, and then even more in the first quarter. Drummond wasn't really too much of a problem. I mean, he did a good job rebounding, but I don't think he did that much. Paul George had 25, 8 and 7, 4 steals. If it wasn't for the 7 turnovers, I mean, Paul George he still had a great game, but he stepped up big time. It just wasn't enough Maxey had that finger issue as well. 0 of 10. I mean, Maxey's just don't see him shoot like that very often. I mean, even just looking at the playoffs, what he did against us, Quentin Grimes had a very quiet game. Honestly, didn't even feel like he was out there. Grimes was just non-existent. I mean, it kind of makes sense why Edwards got more minutes than him, and Bona as well had a good early performance with just boards, had a nice block shot too. But yeah, that was kind of it. I mean, really, this game was just the Knicks falling asleep in the second half, and thankfully Brunson was able to save them as he has since he got here down the clutch. But I mean, this was a big game for the Knicks. I mean, they had lost 2 in a row. The Knicks have only had one stretch this year where they've lost 3 games in a row. They've had a couple of losing streaks. So this is a team that's been winning a lot of games, but they lost by 37 last Friday and then followed it on Sunday by losing to the Celtics. I think it was by like 15 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but the Knicks are 0-7 against the Thunder, Celtics, and Cavs. So, I mean, that's certainly speaks to a lot of things, adjustments, lack of depth. Just not having a proper game plan. I mean, of course, adjustments is during the game, but also coming into the game, not being fully prepared. Drop coverage, 48% of the time, you're not beating elite teams playing like that. You got to be able to switch everything. I just don't think this Knicks roster is ready to win a championship this season. I give them a chance just because of how good their offense is, but I think it's going to take a couple more seasons to just try to get this together. But they're stuck with what they got. I mean, yeah, like they could trade for Giannis or maybe like something crazy like a Devin Booker, but I think the Knicks probably just keep what they have and try to fill out the rest of it. Like we saw the Thunder get Caruso and Hartenstein. We saw the Cavs, of course, get like Max Strus and DeAndre Hunter at the trade deadline. Ty Jerome's been big for them. So, yeah, I mean, the Knicks aren't going to be able to just win a championship by adding in more superstars. They're going to have to just get depth. That's a big thing too. The Cavs, the reason why they have the #1 record in the NBA is because their starters play the least amount of minutes. So they're fresh and their bench is high level, as we saw. I mean, their bench was competing with our starters. That's how bad it got. Tired legs is going to be a big thing as well. I mean, Mikal played 41 minutes, OG 42. Brunson played 36, Hart played 39. I get that, no cat. But the Knicks have been doing that the entire season. So, I mean, it's going to catch up. Like, it caught up to them against Indiana. It's going to catch up to them again. If the Knicks do have another early playoff exit, I don't think they'll let Tibbs go, but I do think he'll be on the hot seat because the Knicks have to progress. I mean, they lost in the second round 2 years ago, and then they lost in the second round last year. And if they lose in the second round again, there's no progress being made. But at the same time, if we can learn anything from this season, it's that it takes teams years to win. Like took the Celtics, like Celtics lost the Heat, they lost the Warriors, and then they won a championship. The Cavs lost to us, and they nearly lost to the Magic in 7 games, and they fell short, of course, a little bit after that. And then now they're the 1 seed. So I think patience is going to be big as well. But is Tibbs the guy? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I do think he deserves a chance, though, of having a fully healthy roster. We'll see what happens when Mitch comes back. But, yeah, that's it, guys. I'm out. Peace.